That's great. So, yeah, I want to keep introducing some people. We got some other really good speakers here that we want to give some time to. But do you guys like this, by the way? You getting to know some of the people that are here? Making sense? Good? Yes? You're nodding heads? Okay. Some of you had a big lunch, maybe? You know, the blood's in your stomach. It's okay. So we do have some other good people here, and the idea is for you to be thinking, who do you need to talk to? Who do you need to meet? Whose card do you want to get? You know, there's so much said about the power of connections. And there's so much said by very successful people talking about how we are the average success of the 5 people we spend the most time with, that we value. How many people have heard some version of that before? You've heard of that, right? You want to be more successful, you surround yourself with more successful people. So that's what I'm trying to do and doing with events like this. We planned this event, what was it, 5 days, 4 days? Who here has heard about this event in 3 days or less? You heard about this in the last 3 days. Most of you. Who here has heard about this event in the last 3 to 6 days? Okay, now I'm going to try to trick you. Who here has heard about this event more than a week ago? It wasn't around more than a week ago. Well, there was people coming down here on Wednesdays. That's true. There were some people coming down here on Wednesdays. But this right here, what you're sitting in, this was only planned, 5 or 6 days ago. Henning took me out to lunch, which, by the way, he has an agenda. Just know that. He has an agenda. Okay? And it's not a bad agenda, but he does have an agenda. Rosalind, why don't you come up here, really quick? Why don't you come up here, and in a second I'm going to introduce some other people here. Now, while Rosalind's coming up here, how many people have your phones with you? Get out your phones if you have. How many people here want to help the Ascent Expo? How many people here would like to help the Ascent Expo in a way that costs them no money at all? Everybody. Okay, yeah, everybody wants to do that, right? No money at all? So get out your Facebook app on your phone. Do me a favor, get out your Facebook app on your phone, go there and like the expo, the Ascent Expo, right? That's where we want to go to. We've got a lot of different pages up there, but the Ascent Expo, that page is the page we'd like to get some more likes on, right? Absolutely. So how many people can do that right now? Get out your phone and get on your Facebook app, look up Ascent Expo, like that for us. Go ahead and click like on there, right? And then you can invite other people to it. You're going to want people there. What? Share it. You're really pushing your luck. I was just trying to hope you get them to like it. Now you want them to share it? Oh my goodness. Okay, baby steps, baby steps. I was gonna do more of that later. But okay, share it. If you can, share it. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to give them even more value, impress them, win them over even more. Then I'm gonna ask for it, right? Got to earn it before you ask for it. So I'm trying to pace myself here. So we're gonna start with a like. Then maybe later on we'll work up to a share. Who here feels like they might share it later on if we do a good job? If we do a good job, you might share it later on. All right, that's like a third of the room here. Rosalind's another great author. She just have done some international speaking. She has an amazing book that's really sums up one pillar of this whole Ascent Expo. So maybe you can just tell them just a little bit about your book and what kind of exposure it's gotten as you put it out there. And listen to Rosalind, because some of you might want to connect with her about what she's doing.
Okay, so the book is about random acts of kindness. It's really about people going out and doing really nice things for one another. So when we look at all the horrible tragedies that happen in the world, I decided that I wanted to make it a different world. So I'm a college teacher and I teach in inner city high schools. And I told these students, I want you to go out and just do something nice for other people and come back and tell us about it. And when the students came back and told the people what was going on, it was just heart-wrenching. Like people suddenly stopped what they were doing and they looked and they listened, and it's really changed the world. If there was just one story, can I tell them just one little quick story?
I'll grab that mic out of your hand if you go too long. Okay, go ahead. Can she do one story? Is that okay with you guys? Okay.
Okay, there's this one story, and the guy's name is Eric. Now, Eric is no girly girl. He's a manly man. And he lived out about an hour away. And one day he goes into Starbucks, and he decides when he goes into Starbucks, he's just going to pay for the car behind him. Comes back a week later, and he's betting on the wrestling team, says, you'll never guess what happened. And last week there was like 8 cars, one after another, that went and bought something for the next person. And Eric comes back and he's jumping up and down and he says, if this is just the first event, imagine what's going to happen on the 15th week of this class. And so as we fast forward and we go to the last story, because I only have a little bit of time, this was the last story. Eric was at work one day, and his family comes in, and the father has like greased back hair, and he's got mud on the back of his shoes, and he brings in this pair of kids that have mismatched clothes and are held together by safety pins. And he says, I was wondering if could you please give us some food? We're just so hungry. And Eric looks at him and he's, I don't know, I suppose. And he goes and he brings him a hamburger and a milkshake, and he says, but you got to go outside. And his manager finds out about this, and he says, I'm going to post a sign outside my business that says, we now feed the homeless. So Eric comes back and he tells us the story, but the story does not end there. A week later, Eric comes back in and says, the guy returned. He came in this beautiful, beautiful car with this excellent suit, and he said, I just wanted to thank you. I wanted to teach my kids a lesson that when they opened up the cupboard, they were grateful that there was food inside. That when they turned on the faucet, it was real water that came out. And because of what you've done for me, I'm opening a foundation to help the homeless people. How many people were moved and inspired by that story? So this is just one story. This is just one story, and there's many more. And so with this, I have this passion. I want to take this random acts of kindness to the world. I just recently returned from Italy, and I set my mind that I was going to give a speech, and I called everybody that I knew. No time to tell you the list, but the day before I left, my husband found the Anglo-American bookstore, and if you go online and you look at the Facebook of the Anglo-American bookstore in Rome, Italy, you can see me there giving this speech. And as a result of that speech, because I don't stop, there's a lady in the audience who was listening who's from Tunisia. This morning, I finally made contact after several weeks with the embassy in Tunisia and said, you know, there was a lady from Tunisia who heard my speech and she wanted me to come to Tunisia. I've called 6 of your local schools, and I know that you really want to have this message of random acts of kindness. So if this story has touched and moved you, please tell your friends random acts of kindness are truly changing this world. And the smallest, littlest things we can do can really make the world a better place. And we never know when we do it how wonderful and how big it can be. Thank you so much.